What am I painting today? Any guesses? Any guesses? Go ahead and guess. I am gonna make some more messes. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna throw some more paint. I'm gonna do some watercolor and some acrylic because I'm obsessed with that right now. And I like to paint what I like to paint. And right now, that's what I like to paint. So, my inspiration comes from my morning walk. I was walking, and I don't go places to walk. I just walk in my yard because I like for my boys to be able to do what they're doing. I don't want to drag them somewhere. And so I just walk around my yard, and I found some mushrooms this morning. So I had to stop and talk to the mushrooms and look at the mushrooms. And I thought, you know what my wildflower painting needs? Mushrooms. So we're gonna do the same similar thing, but we're gonna do it with mushrooms instead. Oh, you're excited. I'm excited. So yeah, I know you noticed it. You don't have to point it out, but I know you noticed it. Don't look at my lip. Don't look at my lip. I got sun poisoning and it caused this, and we're not gonna talk about it. And you know what else we don't talk about? People's hair. Let me tell you what happened to me today. While I was at work, some rude person told me I needed to brush my hair. Yeah, I know. So it's all right. The Lord kept my mouth shut, but I just want that person to know this is just my hair. I do brush my hair multiple times a day. Also, you don't brush curly hair. I comb my hair. Anyway, so I'm glad you're here. I appreciate the fact that you show up, all 5 of you. But I love every 5 of you. And I appreciate you so much. And I'm so glad you're here. So we are gonna, actually, no, back up, rewind. I am Lulu, and this is Learn It with Lulu, where I do things I'm not exactly great at yet, and I invite you to do the same thing. So I literally cut the video because I was thinking, God, it's cringy. But you know what? I'm just gonna let you have it because it was pretty real. So if you wanna know how I really act, that's how I really act. But anyway, so I am gonna ask you to subscribe if you like to learn new hobbies and try new skills, or try new hobbies and learn new skills, or however I say it. Then you click that subscribe button because that's really all I do here. And right now I'm doing a new thing that I really like, which is throwing paint at some paper and figuring out what you're gonna do after that. And today I'm hoping I can throw some paint and then make a little grassy spot and then paint some mushrooms in there and then throw some more paint so it looks like the mushrooms are nestled between the grasses, and call it a day. And I think that will go really well. I'm really excited about it. And I don't think it'll take that long either. I think we could knock this out probably in an hour. So that means your video is gonna be like 20 minutes. It won't if I don't quit talking though, so come on, let's go. All right, let's talk supplies real quick. You need some acrylic paint. Those are all my craft paints. I store them upside down, but it does not help. You still have to shake them. A watercolor palette, some jars of paint. Don't look at the rest of my desk. A palette for your acrylics, and brushes, obviously. Oh, and a spray bottle. Don't know where that's at. Gotta go find it. All right, so that's the best I have done getting you in frame. I'm so proud of myself. I gotta go find my spray bottle. We are gonna activate our watercolors. There's Temple in that. I was singing the spray bottle's praises in the last video, and here it is, acting a fool. All right, so let's spray the paper. Now this is Canson student grade paper. I don't know if it'll hold the water as well as the other papers, but we're gonna find out because you don't know if you don't try. And that's okay. It's not wasted materials if it doesn't work out. It's just learning experiences. That's okay. Learning takes patience and something called perseverance. And perseverance is what you have when you just keep trying something, trying a new thing, coming at it from a different angle, not giving up. There is something to be said for knowing your limits. However, that's different than just giving up because something's difficult. A lot of people will say, well, I could never be an artist. And I say that's not true. I think everyone's an artist. And that's not just some cliche thing that I say because of what I do. I genuinely believe everybody's an artist. You just have to know what your art style is. Everybody's a creator. God is the ultimate creator, and he created us in his image. Everyone we meet is a creator, y'all. And you're not an exception just because you tried painting one time and it was hard. Painting for me took a lot of years, and it took a really long time for the white paper not to scare me. And I'll be honest, a lot of it is because of y'all. Y'all made me brave. I just try things because I want to keep a promise to myself. So I just keep making the videos. I'm gonna show y'all a technique. I tried to show y'all before, but I had too much water on my brush. I mean on my paper, but I'm gonna show you something called a thirsty brush. If you have a puddle on your paper, you can take a dry brush and it'll soak up that excess water for you. This right here is something called a bloom, and that's when you have too much water on your paper and it dries with the pigment on the edge of the puddle. Some people hate it, but I actually I like them because it looks like watercolor when you do it. Now, I don't particularly like what I got going on here. And I guess that's because of this Canson paper. It buckled, oh Lord, got a fingerprint in there. It buckled a lot more than my other paper does, but it's a learning process, so that's okay. All right, green on the bottom. So I'm just using my biggest little mop brush here. Oh, and I wanted to try something new. Where you take, I'm gonna do it pretty dark at the bottom. Look at that, I think that's where my finger touched it. It's pretty gross. Is that where my fingers touched it? I don't know. Look, I could do it with watercolor too. It's not as pigmented, but it's not as opaque. So I thought I saw somebody, and I'd like to tag them, but I don't know where I saw it, but they took a card and they drew, essentially, I'm using a business card, but they did a credit card, and I think that would work better-ish because this is bending, and it had the green puddling in where the card was. I like that texture. All right, the drill, we can either wait for it to dry or make it dry, and I'm not patient, so let's go. All right, pick our colors. Of course we want green, and I used so much green I had to go with the big boy, and it's pretty thick. That's good, probably, I don't know. It's thick though, so I'm gonna have to water it down to throw it. And then mushrooms, we want a red. That's a burgundy. Let's do a burgundy. I'm trying to keep the colors at a minimum to prevent you from having to buy a bunch. Who says you can't do a purple mushroom? Not me. And then like this color, no. This color, maybe. Do I like those? But do I like those? Is that all I want? Maybe a yellow. That's what we're missing. Put some yellow in there. And then the drill, we're gonna put our one color into all the colors to make all the colors look like they're together. It makes sense to me. All right, let's mix her up. You know what? That's too much in that one little pot. Get back in there. Put some in there. How about that? There we go. And I said, the first time I did this, I said go from lightest to darkest, but for some reason I started with green. So do as I say, not as I do. I would start over there and work my way there, because there's red and purple, so that makes sense to me. Why I didn't do it that way, I do not know, because I am what I am. I get super excited about the thing, and then I just don't follow rules. It's okay. Most of my stuff still turns out okay. So if you're like me, I love you and I understand. And then only one left. We're gonna sling all these colors on here because it's fun. All right, putting some water into my green, hoping it'll mix. It's looking kind of chunky. Probably not enough. That's not enough, I don't think. Are you supposed to put water in acrylic paint? I don't know. I'm not an acrylic artist who buys craft supplies and makes up what you do with them. If you're like me, let's be friends. Throw in paint. That was a big boy. So I had a student come and we did this yesterday and she did that and got upset. That's okay, nobody cares. Put more paint in front of it. Paint a mushroom there, who knows? This is designed to not get upset about. This is a really good activity to do after you've had a bad day. Don't throw it that way though. Throw it behind you. Oh, That's not what I meant to do. That's not either. It's okay. I feel like I need layers in my grass. And I feel like I need different colors in my grass. So let me get some yellow. There's these aesthetic artists on YouTube. I'm not those. If that's what you were looking for over here in my corner of the internet, you've come to the wrong place, baby. Nothing is planned. Everything's a mess. But we do have fun and we do learn a lot. So if that's what you're going for, I'm glad you're here and I hope you hang out a while. That's a pretty color. I like that. Oh, big splat. Big another splat. All right. It is what it is. We are what we are. Didn't like that. I thought I was gonna do something different. I kind of like that. So what I'm doing here is I'm just grazing the brush. It would be super easy to mess up, but I'm not worrying about that. I'm just painting and I'm having a great time. And you can do the same thing. Your painting does not have to be gallery worthy. If it was fun, it was worth it. And honestly, my favorite paintings I've ever done are paintings I did because I was having fun. So embrace that part of art. You're not getting graded at the end of it. You're just gonna have a cool painting, and that's the best part. I'm gonna dry this part and then mushroom it and then throw more paint on top of it so it looks like the mushrooms are nestled within the grass. Experimenting, y'all, and I'm thinking I want to paint a pink flower that's facing that direction right here. So I did say mushrooms, but me can't leave well enough alone. So where's my watercolor palette? All right, we're gonna paint some pink flowers too. Because why not? Nobody said we couldn't. It's still wet. This is a watercolor brush and I might mess it up, but hey, let's do maybe a little more whimsy. Cute. What do y'all think? You like it or no? You feeling like it's a no? It's all right to tell me. I can't change it. I'm gonna do purple. So I just did the French ultramarine and that alizarin crimson that I like so much. And we're gonna let this one face that way. Let's say it's coming off this guy. This one really feels like the blue and the red are not happy with each other, but they're trying to get a divorce the whole time. If you know what I'm saying. You can see it. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna force some stuff in there. I like, you know what? I wonder if I could do the watercolor like a mushroom and the grass is in front of it. No, don't like that. But I do think I'm gonna do a much bluer version of that purple. And I'm gonna put me a flower here. Did I just change my plan in the middle? Oh, I did. What plan? Don't even act like I had a plan. I didn't. If you've been here for more than 5 minutes, there was no plan. It's just me showing you a process. Somebody who really doesn't know exactly what they're doing, but they're gonna figure it out because I think that's important. The whole reason I started this YouTube channel is because I used to be a teacher and I noticed a little bit scary traits among our adolescents as a teacher. And they are terrified of failure. Now listen, failure is not my favorite thing either. I do not like to fail, but that's not what I mean when I say that I'm worried about them and it's a bad thing. What I mean, let me scoot you over. What I mean is that you can't be afraid to fail all the time. And I was noticing students who would not try anything in my classroom, outside of my classroom. That's what my coworkers would fuss about. They just would not try anything. And they wouldn't tell you this, but I genuinely believe it was because they were scared that they were going to fail. I'm making Mario mushrooms here, y'all. I don't even know what a mushroom, I know what a mushroom looks like, but I'm not looking at one. They just have little caps. These are gonna have these light colored legs or stumps, I guess. I don't know, whatever they're called, like that. Yes, I know that you can see through my paint. I'm hoping we can fix that. Yes, I know that this paper is not meant for this paint. I don't care. It's my paper and I will do what I want with it. And I know some of y'all do not have just boo koodles of craft supplies lying around. All right, so I just had a little few minutes with my boys came in here telling me what they built in the woods. I'm just putting more layers on the watercolor and I'm not feeling it, y'all. I'm looking at my mushrooms thinking, that looks janky. But hey, I actually told the boys I didn't think I was gonna post it. And then I thought, no, because that's not fair to y'all. I'm sitting here talking about fear of failure. And then I'm not liking my painting, so I'm just not even gonna show you. I'm just gonna do it again. But that's not how this works. This whole point of this is so you see that it's okay to try something and not know how it's gonna end up. And it's the journey. Plus I'm having a great time. I'm not gonna quit, I'm gonna keep going. Don't forget that grass is in front of the flower. And then I'm gonna go back, and I was talking to my kids when I painted the purple, and I'm probably gonna cut that out of here. So I painted the purple, and it's the placement, I think, that's bothering me. I really don't want that one to go off of the paper. I don't know, but we will find out. And we will just keep going until we're glad that we did it. We're gonna go back in the red, try our best to cover up that background. It's not working. So perseverance, a buildable skill. It's like a muscle in your brain. And if you choose not to keep trying when something gets difficult, that muscle is gonna be super weak. It is definitely a if you don't use it, you lose it sort of a thing. But if you choose to try, even though it's hard, then you're doing a rep. When you're exercising and you do the reps, well, if you choose to try, even though you think it's difficult, you're doing a rep. And the more of those reps that you do, the stronger the try again muscle is. And then before long, the reps are a lot easier. Think about it. If you lifted a 10-pound weight, it would be harder the first time you tried than it would be the 100th time you tried. Some of y'all are thinking 10 pounds, that's nothing. But some of us have to start little like that. He's just going off the page, I think. I don't know how to end the stump without, maybe. I don't like that there's two of those. I feel like I need another something there. I wish y'all could talk to me and tell me what to do. What do you think? Maybe we do more little ones. Maybe we do like a yellow one. It's like coming out of here. What is that? That is not the shape I wanted. And then we do something here, I think. What do we do there? Another flower? I like that idea. Of course. Let's do another flower. So this, I just took my brush and I'm going with the tip inward and pressing down to make those sweet little petals. And I'm gonna do that a couple more times and make a couple more flowers. Did I say this was about mushrooms? Because I might have lied. When at first you don't succeed, try the same thing 3 more times. I'm doing my brush upside down than what I told you. I'm so sorry. Not good at following my own rules. Also did that one upside down. Let's just do a little flower there. Do a little flower here. I'll follow the rules. And then let's do one coming off the page here. Oh, this is fun. I like these. What's that? Another flower over here? Sure. Why not? The rest of them, that has 6. I did it. One down here? Sure. I like it. The mushrooms I'm not liking. How do I fix it so I like the mushrooms? There needs to be another one of these red ones. But where do I put it? Oh, what if I do one like that way? Sometimes they grow in pairs. Or did I make that up? I might have made that up, but it's okay. We're gonna grow one right there. Maybe part of him goes behind that one. I know I was talking to you about perseverance and the muscle, but I got distracted, I'm sorry. So it's like a muscle. So if you're like, oh, I just get so worried about, I don't know, whatever. I got anxiety. I got a real question though. When did anxiety become an excuse not to do something? To me, it's, oh, you're scared of it? You're scared of ordering you food at a restaurant? Well, you should do it more so you're not so scared. Just because it gives you anxiety to do something doesn't mean it's a bad thing. And I know there's an anxiety epidemic and all that mess, but getting nervous because you have to speak in front of your class is different than anxiety disorders. I feel like we've lost that as a society. And it kind of feeds into what I was talking about with the kids, fear of failure. They'd rather, you were scared to get a bad grade. They do not care. They will take that 0 to prevent from having to do something that makes them feel some type of way. I just wonder if I go in and put some dots on these bad boys, if that'll help cover up this green, or am I just gonna make it a lot harder to do another layer? I don't know. When you wonder something, you know what you do in Lulu's studio? You just do it. Just try it. What's the worst that can happen, right? Post this and y'all tell me it looks ugly. What if I already know? Then I just say, I know, but I tried something. I think I'm gonna make the end of the mushroom come up right here. Maybe, you know what? I'm worried about those lines, but I'm about to throw more paint on this. So what the heck am I worried about? Let's do that one. I'm not worried. I'm so far from worried right now, y'all. I should be cooking supper, but I don't want to yet. So I won't. I shall paint. One thing, let's see, I'm gonna take this darker red. I think I'm gonna try to make it look like the bottom's poking up a little bit there. How you feeling about it? It's not dark enough. You can see the grass. Oh no, that's okay, I think. I just mixed those two colors. Why? I don't know. I thought I'd give this mushroom a little texture right here around its little neck. What do you think? Let's do some texture on this stem. It was looking kind of dead. What I'm doing there is I'm just really lightly holding the brush and just barely touching it, scuffling it. Oh, went outside the lines, y'all. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna put some of this in here. Little dots. I like this because it just shows how different I paint with different mediums. I keep trying to stick my brush in the purple, but I like to do very whimsical stuff when I'm doing acrylics. And then with watercolor, I tend to be more precise and I lean towards trying to be realistic about it. I said trying so forcefully because I'm not very good at that. These little dots are fun. I wish I'd have thought about that earlier. I wanted to do more dots, so you know what I'm doing. More dots. More cowbell. Now, does it matter if I didn't like the red? Nope. Is this what any mushroom in the world looks like? Nope. This is what mushrooms in Lululand looks like. What'd you say? Red flowers? I think so. Same little baby ones I did before? Yes. I love your ideas. I'm sorry for the shadows on my painting. I, again, do still have a very busy day, even though I talk all the time about being a former teacher, but I do work. I just don't teach anymore. I do teach. I teach y'all things. And what authority do I have? Let's talk about that. I have a master's degree in education and I have 15 years experience in the classroom. So there's my authority. And why did I quit? Short answer, that's also very confusing, is because I love learning. And you're thinking, well, keep teaching, dummy. But I was watching school suck the life out of so many kids, and I didn't want it to be, think about it. How excited is a 3-year-old to learn? And it's the answer to that question, I'll answer it for you, is they're very excited. They want to talk about ABCs and when they do learn it, they want to tell you about it. They're just so happy. Now I want you to think about how excited a 13-year-old is to go to school and learn. Now that you've done that, I want you to ask yourself the same question I asked myself. What happened to them? I don't know the answer to that question. I just know I am gonna find out. I want to watch my kids learn and I want to know what's happening. I think this is turning out pretty cute. Let's give the yellow ones a red center. And you guessed it, we'll give the red ones a yellow center. That was it. We're gonna do something on these stems. Same thing. And then we'll do yellow center and the red flowers. Yep, I'm feeling it. It's getting cuter. What about these purple ones? You know what, they're getting green. You know why? That's right, because I wanted to. Now what am I gonna do with them? This wasn't meant to be a one brush challenge, but look at me just using one brush. Haha. All right, there's too much green on that brush. So, drawing lines on my mushroom caps because the other ones had dot and I just didn't want to do dots again. So I'm drawing lines. If you wanted dots, then draw dots. It's your painting and it's gonna be super cool. And I want you to experiment and try stuff. Draw dots, draw lines, draw circles if you want to. I didn't do a yellow dot there. That was fun. And I'm gonna throw some of the other colors too. I'm gonna throw the green again a little bit, but I'm gonna throw some of these other colors on here too. I like this little splatter, so I'm gonna do that. That was a lot. I wonder if I can get that up. Probably not. Leave it alone. A little bit of purple. Does it help if you say the color while you throw it? Nope. I'm gonna do it anyway? Probably. No, I already made fun of myself. We didn't put any purple flowers. Why not? Oh, this one looks sad. So we're gonna do a sad one over here. I know those are purple. That's not what I meant. I meant with acrylic. 1, 2. I don't know if my little rule is as good if I do it every time though. For the odd numbers, little one down there. Now I got some purple flowers. So you can do this with watercolor too. I've showed you that. But I like the way that looks with the acrylic doing it too. I already did that. Last things last. Let's do the greens again. Oh, why did I stick my finger there? That hurt. Can you see what I'm doing? It's super duper messy, but it's okay. That's what they make soap and water for. Put a little water in there. I need to refill that bottle. That's why it's acting up. The other one, it doesn't matter how full you make it. It's just always acting up. Oh, about made a big old mess. Oh my gosh, not what I meant to do. Why is it not working now? I just did it. You just watched me do it. I'm scared to do it. All right, now we're gonna do this deal right here in the bottom. Oh, do I know? Am I done? What do y'all think? Is it done? I like it a lot actually. So, gonna take this off and voila. All right, let's sign it. Can't sign it somewhere that's wet though. I could sign it over here, but I always sign it over here. Sign it in gold paint pen? That was a weird decision. Why did I decide that, you think? I know, because I really want to go back with some paint pen on here. You can barely see that. I may have to go back over it. Anyway, let's dry this thing. Put some gold paint pen. All right, let's sign it. There we go. A little signature. And calling her done, y'all. Yep, we finished it. I think it turned out cute. It's not exactly what I had going on in my head, but the part where I went off script and I added these watercolor flowers is actually my favorite. So I may do that more, but I love it. These are not my favorite, the mushrooms, but it's my first time I've ever painted a mushroom. So there's got to get better after that. I don't know. What do you think? Did you like it? It looks so fun in the camera and it's giving whimsy. It's giving fairy garden. I don't know, help me name it. All right, well, that's it for today's learning adventure. I hope that you learned a little bit about, what do I hope that you learned? I hope you learned a little bit about my art process and a lot about perseverance and learning. And I'm gonna go ahead and let you know, I'm gonna tell you this every time we end a video. You do not have to be great at something to start it, but you definitely have to start to get great at it. So if there's something you've been thinking that you wanted to try, this is your permission. Go on, make a mess, make a memory, and make a little magic while you're at it. I'm Lulu, and I am learning it the hard way, so you don't have to. Bye, y'all. Love ya.